One of the most stubborn myths I encounter in the comments under my videos is the deep-seated belief that to become wealthy, one must already be rich. Many believe that with their modest income, the door to wealth is irrevocably closed to them. Let me tell you, nothing could be further from the truth. The reality is unforgiving. No matter how much you earn at the end of the month, without stringent financial management, you will invariably run out of money. Whether you earn $1,000, $6,000, or even $7,000, if your expenses increase at the same pace as your income, you will remain trapped in this endless cycle. In fact, the trap isn't the amount of money earned, but how it is managed. To illustrate this point, let's consider my own case. When I was a student, my first job paid me the equivalent of $600 per month. With this amount, I had to cover my rent, food expenses, and leisure activities. Yet against all odds, I managed to set aside a significant sum, nearly $5,500 after 3 years. This means that each month I was saving around $150. I had peers who, with a salary of $800, struggled to make ends meet. The conclusion is clear. It's not more money that you need to get by, but a radically different approach. In this video, we will demystify this common misconception and show you pragmatically how you can enrich yourself even with a modest salary, let's say $2,000 per month. We'll go through the detailed steps to optimize your income so that it covers not only your daily needs, but also allows you to set aside money and invest in building your wealth. Contrary to widespread belief, it's not necessary to have a windfall to start a side hustle in addition to your current job. That's why it's crucial that you follow this video to the end. Don't be fooled by the illusions of consumerism or by the mirage of high incomes. Without proper management, the key to wealth is not in the amount of what you earn, but in the wisdom of what you do with it. Let's begin with personal responsibility in financial management. Before diving into the mechanics of building wealth on a small salary, it is imperative to grasp a fundamental truth. The responsibility for your financial situation lies entirely on your shoulders. This may seem harsh to some, but if you truly aim to build lasting wealth, you must accept this undeniable reality. Your parents, the government, or strangers are not to blame or responsible for your current financial health. You are. Your current financial position is directly the result of your decisions and management. Let's take a concrete example to illustrate this point. Imagine Sarah residing in the US, working for 5 years with a monthly salary based on the new minimum wage, which will be $10.5 per hour from July 1st, 2024. If she works full-time, her monthly earnings would be approximately $1,680, assuming a typical 40-hour work week. Over 5 years, Sarah has managed no less than $100,800. But what remains of this sum? Most likely nothing, because she convinces herself she's just earning the minimum wage. So, you see, the problem here clearly isn't the money itself. In reality, even in the ideal scenario where a model government would give you money without you having to lift a finger, it's very likely that, without proper management, this money would dissipate as quickly as it came, without generating tangible or lasting outcomes. The core issue, then, is none other than the way you manage your finances and your mentality towards money. If you find yourself in a precarious financial situation, the first step toward recovery is simply awareness, acknowledging that your management has been lacking thus far. But it is also vital to understand that you hold the power to change things, to correct course, and to adopt healthy and productive management. This is a crucial step without which no real progress can be made. So if you are aware of this, we can move on to more serious matters. 2. Understanding and evaluating your current finances. The second crucial step, after acknowledging your responsibility in managing your finances, is to thoroughly examine where your money is going. Indeed, it is impossible to master your money management without a clear and precise understanding of its destination. Far too many people watch their salary disappear from their bank account without understanding how and why. By the 10th of the month, they are shocked to find the account nearly empty. Therefore, to evaluate how you spend your money, start by examining your bank statements from the past 3 months. Analyze each expense and identify where every penny goes. This exercise, similar to a medical diagnosis, will help you understand your financial habits, just as a doctor reviews symptoms with a patient to understand their condition. Once you have established where your money is going, the next step is to categorize your expenses. How much do you spend on rent, on dining out, on groceries, on clothing, on vacations, on gifts, etc.? It's essential to have a clear and detailed view of your financial flows. This is where the first revelations appear. You may be surprised to discover how much you actually spend in certain categories. For instance, you might find that out of a salary of $1,600, you are dedicating $900 to rent or shopping. This awareness is the first step toward better financial control. Now that you know where your money is going, it's time to manage it more wisely. Let's move on to the next step. 3. Setting financial goals. Once you have a precise understanding of where your money is flowing, it's crucial to take a pause and deeply reflect on your financial ambitions. After all, only by having a clear vision of your destination can you establish an effective budget and allocate your money wisely. So, ask yourself, what is your grand project? What are your financial dreams? Only someone who knows where they are going can save with a specific goal in mind. If you're navigating without direction, what's the point of saving? At this critical stage, you must be able to set tangible goals, whether that's setting aside $5,000, $11,000, $6,000, or even $22,000. You'll soon understand why these specific amounts are vital to starting a side business alongside your current job. Remember, with a monthly salary of $1,980, becoming rich solely through salary is nearly impossible. So take this moment to ponder whether you're considering investing in the stock market, launching an online business, or whatever your project may be. Think carefully and determine the amount needed for its realization. You must view your money as a tool to invest in projects that will grow it. So, every time you receive your paycheck, you should intentionally allocate a portion to investments. Thus, after determining the necessary amount to start your side activity, we are ready to move on to the next step. But before proceeding, please take a moment to like this video. It will help the algorithm recognize this as useful content, and it can then recommend the video to more people. Thank you for doing that. Let's continue. 4th step. Allocate your money according to different categories. Now that you have a clear vision of how your money is being spent and have established your various goals, it is imperative to take control of your finances instead of letting your finances control your life. You must pilot your finances. After defining the expense categories, it is essential to apply the 50-30-20 rule as the foundation of your financial management. According to this rule, 50% of your salary should be devoted to your essential needs, such as rent, food, and bills. For example, if you receive an average salary, let's say around $2,000, then $1,000, which represents half of your salary, should be allocated to these essential expenses. I know, some of you are already protesting, claiming that this is impossible. But let me enlighten you. In reality, financial wisdom and bank recommendations suggest that rent should not exceed 30% of your monthly income. This means that if you make $2,000, approximately $600 should be the maximum limit dedicated to your rent. Consequently, if your rent exceeds $600 with a salary of $2,000, it simply means that you are living beyond your means. Some will say that real estate costs are rising, but if your goal is to build wealth on a modest salary, you must adopt a lifestyle in line with your means and consent to certain sacrifices. If you share your life with a partner, the financial burden becomes lighter by combining your salaries. However, if you are single, consider the possibility of sharing accommodation or finding a less expensive housing option that fits your budget. Becoming wealthy inevitably involves making some sacrifices. Thus, with a base salary of $2,000, you should allocate $1,000 to fundamental needs following the 50-30-20 rule. You must then allocate 30% or $600 to your personal desires and 20%, which corresponds to $400, to your savings or investments. but allow me to suggest a different approach to accelerate the building of your wealth. After dedicating 50% or $1,000 to necessities, you have 50% of your income left. Here, the path diverges based on whether you're in debt or not. If you have debt, I recommend using 15% of your salary, which would be $300 from a $2,000 monthly income, to pay down your debts each month to avoid overwhelming interest. If you're not in debt, allocate this 15% to an emergency fund, which can be crucial in case of job loss or unexpected expenses. At this point, you would then have 35% of your salary left, approximately $700. From this amount, it is advised to allocate 15%, which is about $300, into a separate account dedicated to future investments. If, in the third step, you determined you need $5,000 to start a side business, then you should save for approximately 17 months, following this plan of setting aside 15% of your $2,000 monthly salary, which is $300 per month. This means that with a current salary of $2,000, you would be able to launch your side business with an initial budget of $5,000 in almost 1.5 years. At this level, you still have 20% of your salary left, which equates to $400. It's critical to devote 10% of your total salary, therefore $200, to your financial education. This approach is fundamental and often underestimated. Allocating 15% of your net income to launching a side activity is an excellent initiative, but it could prove unfruitful if you lack the necessary knowledge to manage this new venture. Therefore, invest in your education. Purchase books, enroll in courses, attend seminars related to your business field. This preventative step will protect you against unnecessary financial losses and is key to success for those who meet their goals. Finally, you have 10% of your salary left, approximately $200. I recommend devoting 5% of this amount, therefore around $100, to your leisure activities. Rewarding yourself and maintaining a balance in your life is essential. The remaining 5%, also about $100, should be allocated to generosity. Sharing part of your income can not only help others, but also enrich your life on spiritual and emotional levels. By following these guidelines, you create a healthy balance between saving, investing, personal education, well-being, and generosity. To summarize, if you have a salary of $2,000, you should distribute it as follows. 50% or $1,000 should go towards daily expenses. 15% or $300 should be allocated to an emergency fund or debt repayment. Another 15%, which is $300, should be earmarked for your projects. 10%, meaning $200, should be invested in your financial education. 5% or $100 should be reserved for your leisure. And finally, 5%, also $100, should be dedicated to generosity. This is how, even with a modest salary, you can gradually but surely build wealth. We've taken the example of a $2,000 salary to illustrate our point. However, you can simply adapt this to your own salary by adjusting the percentages for each category accordingly. Step 5. Investment advice. In Step 3, we discussed the idea of starting a side business. However, if you find yourself lacking ideas or unsure of where to begin, now is the perfect time to start educating yourself. Dive into reading books on topics that interest you. Indeed, self-education is the first step towards financial independence. To further guide you on this journey, we are currently writing an ebook that will offer 5 business ideas that can be launched with little or very little capital. These are businesses that we have personally started, so we will present you with specific case studies along with our own results. This ebook will be available very soon, so stay connected to not miss its release. In the meantime, I want to offer you a free book, The New System to Launch Your Online Business. This book is a goldmine of information and practical strategy. You will learn how to find clients without having an email list, how to create a premium offer that sells, and how to sell programs over the phone for more than $6,600 each. This guide is an invaluable opportunity for those looking to start or grow their online business presence. The book is entirely free, and you can find the link to download it in the description below. This will give you concrete ideas to start something meaningful and turn your aspirations into tangible reality. That's how, even with a modest salary, you can start your journey towards wealth creation. Thank you for watching. I invite you to take a moment to like this video. It will help the algorithm recognize that this is useful content, and it can then recommend the video to more people. It costs you nothing but means a lot to us. Thank you for doing that. Don't forget to download your book. The link is at the bottom of the video. See you soon.